Extreme poverty. Walking past a restaurant at this level is like window shopping in a video game where you don't even have the in-game currency to open the menu. The smell of food through the door is the closest thing to a meal you're getting tonight. You're not choosing between the steak and the salmon. You're choosing between eating today or eating tomorrow. And restaurants simply aren't part of that equation. If you do end up outside one, it's usually for the free bread basket a stranger left behind, not the 7-course tasting menu inside. Poverty. At this level, a restaurant is not dinner, it's an event, the same way a total eclipse is an event, rare and mostly witnessed by other people. If you do go, it's for someone else's birthday, and you're doing quiet math before the waiter even reaches the table. You order the cheapest thing on the menu, and tell yourself you weren't that hungry anyway. Sending food back untouched isn't something you understand as a concept, because to you, a plate that isn't finished is a plate that got wasted, and a plate that got wasted is a small tragedy. Lower middle class. This is the special occasion tier, the financial equivalent of only wearing your nice shoes to weddings. You'll go to a real restaurant maybe once a month, and when you do, you read the right side of the menu before the left. Appetizer or dessert, never both. That's just restaurant law at this level. You order water and call it a preference instead of what it actually is, which is a way to keep the bill under a number you already decided on in the car. Middle class. This is the Goldilocks tier of eating out. Not too broke to enjoy it, not rich enough to stop noticing the bill. You can get the appetizer now. You might even get dessert if the day was good. You still glance at the total when it arrives, not out of panic, just out of habit. The same way you check your mirrors even on an empty road. This is the first tier where a restaurant is just a restaurant, not a milestone. Upper middle class. You have a usual place now, which is basically the culinary version of a frequent flyer status. You don't get the best table, but you get a good one. And the host says something like, "Good to see you again," which feels better than it should. You order a bottle of wine that isn't the cheapest one on the list, and you actually consider the sommelier's recommendation like it's real information and not just a sales pitch. You still see the bill, you just don't do the math out loud anymore. Affluent. This is the level where the restaurant starts remembering things about you before you remind them. Your usual order, your allergy, the table you like near the window. You're basically a recurring character in their restaurant's story now, not just a customer. You can order the good bottle without a second thought, the same way you grab a coffee, and dessert stopped being a decision a long time ago. It's less about being able to afford the meal and more about never having to think about affording it in the first place. Upper affluent. At this level, restaurants start doing things for you that they don't advertise on the menu. A quieter section, a chef who comes out just to say hello, a reservation that materializes on a Friday night when the online system says fully booked. You've stopped seeing this as generosity, because to you, this is just how restaurants work, the same way free Wi-Fi is just how coffee shops work to everyone else. Millionaire. The restaurant stops being the special part of the night. It becomes the background of it. You've eaten the best version of most dishes already, in a few different countries, so tonight's dinner is competing with a very long personal highlight reel. You're not impressed by a tasting menu that took 4 hours to plan, because you finished it in 90 minutes on your way to somewhere else. The most expensive bottle on the list isn't a splurge anymore, it's just the bottle that happened to be there. Multi-millionaire. You don't ask if a restaurant has a table, you ask if they'll make one. A fully booked 3 months out restaurant suddenly finds an opening at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday, and it's yours. The same way a hotel somehow always has the last room the moment you actually need one. The chef might build a menu specifically for you that doesn't exist anywhere else, based on something you mentioned once and don't even remember saying. You genuinely couldn't tell someone what dinner cost tonight. And honestly, nobody around you would let that number reach you even if you asked. Billionaire. At this level, the restaurant comes to you. The chef flies in with his own staff and treats your kitchen like it's his for the night. Because for the night, it is. There's no menu, because a menu means choices. And at this level, someone already decided what you'd enjoy before you walked in the door. It's the financial equivalent of a video game with unlimited lives. Except the twist nobody warns you about is that after enough unlimited lives, most billionaires start craving the game over screen, the plain sandwich, the empty kitchen, just to remember what wanting something actually feels like. The joke at the top of the ladder is that the man at the bottom would trade almost anything for one bite of what the top of this ladder eats without thinking. And the man at the top of this ladder would trade almost anything to feel that hungry, that grateful, for a plate of anything again.